So I'm here today with Andreina, who has participated in two back-to-back group coaching programs, and she's generously offered to share her reflections about the transformation that she's experienced on the journey and what it's meant to receive support in a woman-centered coaching space. Thank you so much for being here today, Andreina.
Hello, Daniela. It's my pleasure and an honor as well. I'm happy to
Thank
be
you.
here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and I'd love to start by asking you what was going on in your life when you joined the coaching program?
Yeah. When I joined the coaching program, I was in a period of career confusion and a bit of turmoil as well. I have been trying to become a professional writer for the last 5 years, and for some periods it has gone well. It seemed like it was progressing, and some other periods it seems like I'm going backwards. So it's been a little bit of a back and forth for a long time. And last year, it was one of those years that was a little bit harder, where the universe seemed to be sending mixed signals, and I was really confused as to how to proceed, especially how to balance my day job with my ambition to write. So it was kind of heartbreaking and difficult. So that's where I was, and I really needed to figure out what will be the best path for me that will either either take me to where I want to be as a writer, or soothe my heart and I don't know, let me accept where I was at, or the reality of my situation.
Mm, mm. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, Andreina. And that's such a hard place to be when your heart is really yearning for something and it doesn't seem to be happening in the way that you need and want it to. And then it's like, well, what's the next step from there? So, yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love to ask you what shifted for you as a result of the work that we did together.
There were huge shifts, especially after we did the initial um, conversation or discussion, sort of like exploratory conversation. Even that conversation was transformational for me, because you pushed me to imagine, to think bigger and in detail, and I've never done that before. I've had this dream, desire, ambition, but it was shapeless in a way. It didn't
Mm,
have any any particular shape, and you really helped me to give it some shape.
mm,
So through the two coaching programs that I participated in, I first gave it shape, and then I tried on the shapes and further refined how actually I wanted to look. So it was, first of all, it was scary, but also very exciting to finally have a more specific, um, a more specific dream or ambition, a
mm.
goal, especially like a goal that I could work towards. So
I love that because it's so hard to fulfill our goal if we don't know exactly where we're going, right? We don't have that North Star, like what exactly does this look like? It's so
exactly.
beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, and what else shifted for you? You were saying there are a few shifts, like what else shifted for you as a result of being in the programs?
Yeah, I first of all, I was able to really let my imagination go. I was I I I I had a concrete vision, and that was so beautiful. So I feel like I can now, when I'm feeling confused again, or um, discouraged or tired or sad or heartbroken, which happens very often with when you're trying to do something like this, be a writer, I can go back to that vision. I can tap into that.
Mm,
I can tap into that space where I can imagine things without any restriction. I realized that my imagination was very small My imagination was limited, and
Wow.
you taught me how to and helped me to to have a greater vision. And when I'm discouraged or tired, I can go back and I can tap into that and see it and believe it and also feel like I deserve it too.
That's amazing. And I think you're pointing to something so powerful, right? Because if all we can imagine is what's in our own mind and it's smaller than what's actually possible, then we're kind of blocking our own possibility to
Yeah,
really being stepping into the greatest vision that we have. And as you say, feeling like we also deserve it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Amazing. And that's kind of the first step, right? Is like that vision piece.
yeah.
So then how do you feel in terms of like moving towards that vision over the two coaching programs and what expanded, what shifted for you in that sense?
Yeah. Many things there were kind of spiritual aspects, but also practical aspects. So in the first coaching program, it was about setting goals every week, and so that you could work towards, and just having those concrete goals really helped me to organize my desires. I don't know how to explain it. To give it shape, to say, okay, I need one plus two plus three so I can get to number four or something like that. So I had like a more clear path. Um, also, I was able to explore deeper parts of myself that I
Mm,
hadn't dared to look at for a long time or ever. And I was able to get to the root of why I'm not believing in myself, or
mm,
I was not blaming myself for not realizing my dream of being a professional writer, but I was able to see how I might be hindering myself
mm, mm,
getting there. First of all, I didn't have a concrete vision. I Number two, I didn't dream big enough.
mm,
And number three, I had a complete different conception of myself.
mm.
And through the program, I was able to see that I was actually the opposite, in
Wow.
fact,
Wow.
of what I believed. And that was really important. Of course, not every day is like super confident day. I have days that I still have heartbreak, but I can, like I said before, I can, when I'm feeling confused or sad again, I can tap into that and remember you saw your real you. So I can go
Wow.
back to that and I feel like I'm so much ahead. The growth was immense to me. It
Wow.
might be invisible outside, but to me is really extraordinary. Oh, yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, that's so powerful, right? We're like when we're kind of living with a story in our head about who we are, and often we don't even really see what that is because we've been living with it for so long. But I love what you said about like now I see the real me. Like I really see myself. I see who I really am. And like sometimes, we go into those places, something happens and it rocks our confidence, or we feel, like you said, really heartbroken. But then like to be able to reconnect to that, like who am I really? And to know the truth of that, I think that's amazing. Yeah, amazing. And what would you say have been the most valuable parts or the most impactful parts of the programs for you?
Yeah, there were a few. One of the main ones is the dedicated time. You know, a piece of my, I don't know how to call it, my journey was taking myself seriously, which I
Mm,
thought I was doing. Excuse me. I thought I was taking myself seriously, but I realized I wasn't taking myself seriously. So to have those dedicated moments every week to sit
yeah.
down and work on this with a group of other women, and truly the world disappear during those 2 hours every
Mm,
every time we met. So that was extremely important. That
yeah,
I was really shutting out the world to be able to work on this, to think about this the
yeah,
way I needed to think about it because it's huge. So if I'm just thinking about it, while I'm doing the dishes, like 10 minutes, it's not gonna be the same as really sitting down with the comfortable, uncomfortable parts, the fun parts, all of that. So that's very, very useful. To feel accepted as you are, to be able to say your greatest ambition out loud, but feeling safe that nobody is going to judge you for it.
yeah.
Nobody's going to think, who does she think he is? What is she talking about? Really? I mean, but to be able to say, yes, I want to write a book, or I want to, work as a writer every day, or whatever the dream, the other women in the group truly were believing in me, encouraging me. I'm not saying this lightly. I think it was true connection, true support, like real belief in each other. And
Mm,
that is also, feeling safe because when you have ambitions, all of us, we have dreams, it feels very lonely.
yeah, yeah,
I feel very like, trying to, I want to be a writer, but it feels very
yeah.
lonely. So to be able to meet with you and the other women in the group every week, that loneliness,
Mm,
I didn't feel it as much or anymore. So that's really important to know I'm not alone in that quest for something bigger. So
yes.
two very important things, I think.
Those are amazing. Yeah, thank you. And I think it's so powerful, right? Because it's like you said, take myself seriously. And part of that is like give myself the space for me. Like I'm taking the time for me because you have so many things that you're juggling, but then it's like this time is for me to work on my dream. And like, how do we really move towards our dreams if we don't give ourselves that dedicated time and space? To just really be in that and be moving
Yeah.
towards that. So I love that. And then what you were saying about just the safety of women who are there for you as much as they're there for themselves, like standing for your dream as strongly as they're standing for their own.
Yeah.
That's so powerful. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And I'm curious, what would you say to another woman who's considering joining a program like this?
I would say join. You have no idea where you will end up, or the path that you will start to walk. Because it's the beginning, right? I often say when I'm doing something that is incredible to me, I'm always thinking of the women in my life. I'm
Yeah.
constantly, it's like I'm enjoying something. I'm thinking, oh, I know this person will enjoy it. I know my sister will love this. So this very much happened with this coaching program. Both of the sessions, I kept thinking about, I know how many people will benefit from this. So I will say, don't be
Mm,
afraid, join, just start, consider it. And it truly is transformational, and you won't regret it.
mm,
You might make, long-lasting uh, friendships and connections, and um, truly give yourself a chance. Uh,
mm,
you will uncover things that you need to uncover, and you will be the better person after that. So I, that's what I would say. I encourage you to just do it. Give yourself that.
Thank you so much, Andreina. I think that's so beautiful, that idea, just like give yourself the chance, right? Because often, especially as women, like we're so busy giving to everybody else and thinking about what everybody else needs. So like the opportunity to really take time and space for yourself and move towards what you really want is
Yeah,
is is transformational.
yeah. In an organized way as well. So I'm sure all of us, we think about these things often, all the time, but to give it shape, to give it
Yeah,
structure.
yes.
Um, you owe your dream that.
That's powerful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like I think it's also about, whatever your dream is, like when we step fully into that dream, we're more fully what we want to contribute to the world. And so everyone's really benefiting, right? Like in the at the end.
Yes, exactly. It's not just about, your self-improvement and your self-love and self-worth and all of those things, but also you will definitely be able to better contribute to your community, because you can actually bring this outside of the coaching and, give it to other people a little bit. That perspective that, you can do this, you can. So yeah, I think it could be, so much impact even outside of myself.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Thank you so much again, Andreina, for being here today. Really, really appreciate it. It's been so beautiful to go on this journey with you. And yeah, I'm so honored and so happy to have you here today. So thank you.
Thank you for doing this work. It truly is incredible, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, if you're watching this and you feel like the conversation's resonating and you're curious about what it might look like to explore your own journey, I'd really love to connect with you. So you can book a free discovery call with me and you can find the link below. So thank you so much.